Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Mpho Jacobs. I am a first-year visual communication design student at Stellenbosch University. Today I have the privilege of filming here at my own room. It feels great. I've had a great recess and I can't wait for the beginning of the next term. So today we are talking about the P word, portfolios. You will find that even after you've applied, your general university application, if you're applying for a course in the art, in the design, in the architecture space, they will require you to also submit a portfolio. Why do you need to submit a portfolio? It's quite simple. If it is a degree that demands quite a large extent of drawing ability, you need to show that you can draw. Honestly, if a university or institution has a course available, in art, architecture, design, and does not require you to submit a portfolio, I'd honestly be a bit worried about that credibility of that institution. In my opinion, it's quite a red flag. I've had my own experiences with portfolios, and what I'm about to share with you has helped me in having quite successful portfolios. Firstly, my portfolio, of course, got accepted for visual communication design here at Stellenbosch University. I'd also applied for architecture in other institutions, so I got accepted. My portfolio got accepted at the University of Johannesburg. I had another portfolio that I submitted to University of Witwatersrand and it got accepted there, and also had a portfolio that I submitted for architecture at UCT and they got accepted there. So what I have utilized that I'm about to share, of course, seems to be very helpful. I do want to let you know though, these are just tips to help increase the chance of your portfolio getting accepted. Of course, you don't have control of what the panelists who are looking at your portfolio will think, whether you'll be accepted or not. But I do believe that if you do your best and try and follow some of these tips that I'm about to give you, it'll definitely increase your chance and make sure that you get into the course of your dreams. So let's begin. Firstly, application. If you are applying to a degree that needs you to submit a portfolio, I highly suggest you at least apply to, a good amount would be 3 institutions, 3. If you are quite confident in your skills, maybe 2, but I really suggest 3. Simply because a portfolio, you'll never know what might happen. In case it's not successful, make sure that you have the option to go somewhere else. And with this being said, a portfolio is quite demanding in the tasks it needs you to do. The portfolios are not the same in every institution, so you'll be doing different exercises for different portfolios, and it takes a lot of time. So I do highly suggest that you narrow it down to the universities that you like, and you focus on doing portfolios for those institutions. If you can do 3, that is ideal. If you can do 4 or 5, that is great. But keep your options open, because you don't want to rely on one place and find that you made a mistake and your portfolio isn't successful, and then your chances are gone. So understanding the system is quite important too. They're not comparing your portfolio. It's not just side by side, oh, this person draws better. It's about how good that you do. Don't worry about people that you do not know. That's what I'm trying to say. Just focus on yourself, do your best, and that will make sure that you have the best chance. Start early. I'm serious. Start early. A lot of websites for these institutions, whether it's in the art department, the architecture department, if you go there, there should be some place that has the link to download the portfolio requirements. Go there. If you can, after this video, if you haven't, go there, download it now, start looking at your work now. I highly suggest a minimum of 6 weeks. But because, I don't know, with some of you, especially if you're matric or maybe you're in a gap year and you're working, there's other responsibilities that you have. So the more time you give yourself, the more helpful it is for you to make sure that you do your best work so that you don't rush your work and bring poor quality work for your portfolio. So please start early. Don't wait till like 2 weeks before, because you've got other responsibilities, and this portfolio, it takes a lot because it incorporates not just drawing. Some of them incorporate doing 3D models of things, like physically building something. So make sure that you give yourself enough time to complete everything, check everything. Yeah, just give yourself time, please. No sleepless nights. No sleepless nights. Reviewing your art. Unless you are super sure that your skills are top notch, I highly advise that you have someone look at your work. I do believe that it's ideal to have that person be an art teacher who happens to be in your high school, an art teacher who you know, someone who just has had experience looking at art and looking at portfolios, because they will give you the best criticism for what you're doing. And with this, please do not give them your work like to look at the day before the deadline for submission, because it's not going to give them enough time. It's not going to give you enough time to analyze. Like if they give you criticism and say fix this, change this, it's not going to give you enough time to do that too. So I highly suggest that you, maybe if you speak to the teacher whenever you complete a project, just show her or him and show them that this is what you have done, and get that feedback and be able to work towards that and progress, in that work. That is so important. And be mindful that you try as best as you can to avoid asking them to do this, to review your work during exam time. I don't know when the mid-year exams are this year. If they are, just try avoid that. Please be considerate for not just them, but also for yourself. The most important advice ever: read. Like seriously, read. Like read all of the instructions, highlight if you need to highlight, so that you see and understand what you need to do, and everything that's required, not just what you need to draw or whatever or create, but also how to submit. Make sure that you know all of those instructions so you do not miss something. Because if you forget something, like one thing, that could be the reason of your portfolio being declined. I'm serious, like it can be the reason of your portfolio being declined, even if your work is good. If you forgot something, one aspect of your portfolio, that's it. So please, personal work. With some portfolios, they might request to see some of your other work that you have done. So some it's optional, some it is somewhat compulsory. With some, depends on the institution, some of them just want to see that work that you've created. So with this, if they say 10 maximum, that means that you can choose to put 1, 2, or 3. Just for that, I suggest that you put your best work out there, because that's the only part of the portfolio which you can really shine and show that this is like the work that I've done before. Especially if one of the mediums that you're allowed to use in the portfolio are not ones that you've specialized in. If you've managed to specialize or create in during school, you can actually use this as an opportunity to shine. Also, back to the instructions. When it comes to mediums, check, as I said, read. If it says to you, draw this in pencil, then use pencil. If they say mixed media, then you can use anything, but make sure that you note what you're supposed to use the right medium. Also with the personal work, so as I said, choose your best work, show a variation of works. Don't try and limit yourself. If you've done pretty great paintings and pencil and pen and all of that, just show that variation, so that you're able to, you're adaptable and you have the skills to adapt to any medium. So, planning/process. A lot of portfolios request for you to show your planning, which is annoying. I know, especially if you're one of those people who just gets an idea and just goes for it and begins. So with this, it is important, even if you did not do any planning, try and show some planning, try and show some process. Take pictures, document what you are doing. For this, for me, what I did sometimes, because sometimes I didn't plan, it's just, just draw something that shows that you were thinking about the process. Even those small sketches that you were doing, trying to figure out how to do your work, those are important. So don't forget to show your planning. Submission. Finally, we've reached the last part, which is submission. Submit in time, please. If you have the option to send it via post, and you prefer that, or that's manageable for you, please give it at least, I'd say, a week or a few days. Like a few days if it's overnight courier, I'd suggest. And also suggest that you maybe do overnight courier. That seems to be the most efficient way. If it's normal delivery, I don't know, just check the business days and give yourself the maximum amount of business days. So it's like 5 to 9 business days. Give yourself 9 business days in case something happens. If it is a digital submission, which I believe is actually a better option and one of the best innovations that might have come out during this whole pandemic when it comes to submitting things, give yourself a few hours maximum to avoid the issues that might come up if you're trying to submit, at the last minute. Because if it's due at midnight, it's due at midnight. Because with me, I remember that I was having problems converting my document to a PDF, and that caused such a big panic last minute. So if you can, give yourself time to submit a few hours before, and check how you're supposed to submit. With some institutions, they have their own sort of special link or whatever of submission. Some of them need it submitted via email. And remember that when it comes to digital submissions, even the physical ones, make sure that you understand how you're supposed to label your work and label it correctly. Make sure that if it's a PDF, if they require you to have your name and surname and student number, have it there. And even if they didn't specify, I suggest you put your name and your surname at least, like your full names and your surname, so they know that it's your work. Because if they decide, I don't know, if they're downloading multiple files of other students and yours, you don't want yours to be nameless. That would be a big issue. And make sure that if it is a digital submission and they say maybe you submit it as a PDF, convert it to a PDF. There are enough resources and instructions out there in the world for you to know how to convert something into a PDF. I believe that you can even convert it on Word itself. So make sure that, again, it comes with submission and comes back to that whole reading. Make sure you read and understand how you're supposed to submit your work so that you submit it correctly, you submit everything that you need to submit, and that it's done and dusted and it's good. That is about it. That is about all the advice that I can really give about the things that will help you have a stronger portfolio. Or just, it's not really about the strength, but it's about doing it right, in the sense of those small things that could unnecessarily cause you to not be successful. So simply said, focus on your portfolios. Give them the focus. Do not do half efforts on your things. Do not put only half an amount of efforts on your things, because if you're not doing your best, trust they can see it. If you're rushed and your work's not looking good, trust it can be detectable, especially by these people. They've been marking and analyzing portfolios for years. So make sure that you do your best. That is what matters. If you've done your best, you will also feel at peace with whatever the result is, whatever the outcome is for a applying and for your portfolio. It is high competition. It is university. University is competitive. Whatever course you're entering in or you're applying to, there are other people who also want to be in there too. So do your best so that you know that whatever the outcome is, you tried and you did absolutely your best. So prove your worth. If you're watching this video, that shows enough that you are determined and you are ready to do your best. After this, I hope that you feel better, you feel more grounded towards what is, required for your portfolios. And I wish you the best of luck, the best of drawing, the best in this application process. And yeah. Thank you for watching this video. Please like and subscribe. There definitely is more content coming, more of my experiences. If you haven't checked the video before, I posted a video about my first term experience here at Stellenbosch University. Do check it out so that you have more of a real-time, fresh understanding and experience from someone who's experiencing this, right now. I put a link somewhere. There'll be a link for that, so you can see that, experience firsthand, having it fresh. And yeah, if you have any questions, I will put my social media handles, my email below, and we can have a chat, and you can comment in the comments down below. Bye.